June is 315 days pregnant today, so I figured right now is the perfect time to go over everything that we're going to do to prepare for the arrival of her baby. So she's eating her dinner right now, but we can go over all the basic things. The first thing that we've been doing for a while is we've been watching her on the camera at night. This way we can figure out kind of what her norm is as she just hangs out in here at nighttime. And then once that kind of changes, then we can see that stuff's changing in her and that we are getting closer to foaling. And then that just also helps the night of foaling. That way we can make sure we're here, and if she needs help, that we can get here to help her quickly. And then the next thing is straw. Here we have 6 bales of straw because you don't want your mare foaling on sawdust or any like small shavings because it can get in the foal's mouth and eyes. So straw is really good. And then you can also take straw and like help get all the fluid out of the baby's nose when it's born because it'll make it sneeze. So we definitely need straw. So we're going to put this down when we notice any signs that she's going to foal that night or in the near future. We don't want to put it down too soon just because it's a pain to clean stalls with straw. Along with the straw, when we notice that she's going to foal soon, we will put in a tail bag. This will just help keep the tail out of the way when she's foaling because, you know, when you're messing around back here, and the tail can really get in the way. So we will just keep it in a tail bag. Some people wrap it up, but she's not used to having her tail like all the way wrapped up here. So we're just going to have it in a tail bag, which is what she would be used to.
Side note, you can really see how sunken in her hip is getting right here with the lighting like that. So her hip is getting softer for that baby to make its entrance to the world. So it's we're definitely getting closer.
Yes.
Sorry for the side note.
That's okay. Anyways, so we have our tail bag. That's the third thing. And then now we're going to go over our foaling kit, which is everything you need before and after foaling. All right, this is her foaling kit. She thinks it's food. I'm very sorry to say, but there's just like enemas. I don't think you want those. Okay, we have this little foaling checklist, which is on the front, and then the foaling kit checklist is on the back, just to make sure we have everything we need. It's a little wrinkly because it's been in the bucket, but Alyssa will be in charge of checking off those things because we're going to write down the time she starts things to the time it finishes, just to make sure nothing goes on for too long, and then it will help us know if we need vet assistance if she does go on for too long with anything. So we just have in here, it's kind of messy. It's a deal of everything. We have a wash rag because you need to clean their udder before the full nurse is on it. And then we have just these little cups to dip the navel in iodine. And we have a thermometer right here for the baby if we need to check that. And we also just have a pair of scissors in case we need to cut a red bag or any other serious thing like that. And then just some umbilical clamps in case it's bleeding or anything. So that's what was in this bag. And then I just have a bag of twine to tie up the placenta, or I don't know, it comes in handy sometimes. And then we also have some Dawn dish soap to clean her udder as well as that wash rag, and then we'll just grab a bucket with some water. These are for pre-foaling. These will check her pH of her milk to let us know once it gets to that 6.2, 6.5 range, we know she's gonna foal pretty soon. So we definitely need to have these. We have a baby oil this is for after the foal's born, like 2 weeks after the foals can get scours or anything. So we need to have this so their skin doesn't peel off because that can be pretty painful for them. Just some basic rubber gloves. And then enemas for the foal after it's born. It's very important it passes its meconium, or else it can be like foal colic and it's just not a good thing. You don't want that. So we need some enemas. We have 2 of those. And then this, it's not really that helpful in foals, but in case we need it, we have it. A little sucker thing. We got that to suck any liquids out of the foal's nose or anything. Not that it's really that helpful because it's so small, but we might find it to come in handy. And then this is for June. It's just a prebiotic paste. It will help her be less stressed and just help get some of that pain away from her so she can focus on the baby once it's born. We'll take a closer look at our foaling checklist. The first thing I have on there is some contractions will last 1 to 2 hours before the water breaks. And then after the water breaks, you have some time before the foal's front feet come out. And then the foaling should appear in 10 to 20 minutes. If it goes to 30, that's fine. But if it's any longer than that, she needs some help getting that baby out of there. And then her placenta, we want that out within 1 to 3 hours. If it's going on 4 hours, we need a vet to help come get that out. She needs some oxytocin or something like that. And then the foal should stand within 1 hour, like the 1, 2, 3 rule. The foal should stand within an hour, nurse within 2, and then the placenta should pass within 3. And then we will dump the umbilical cord in iodine. We will clamp the cord if it's bleeding, give the full enema to pass meconium. It needs to pass that 1 to 4 hours after birth. 24 hours is the limit to pass with the meconium, but we definitely want the baby to pass that, obviously, in the 1 to 4 hour range. Closer to the 1 preferably. And then the foal, like I said, needs to nurse within 2 hours just to help get all that colostrum and antibodies into the foal to help it be healthy and stable. So that's this, and then the back of it's just making sure that I have everything in the foaling kit, so just the foaling kit checklist. Another thing that's really important for when the foal's born is towels. I obviously don't have them with me, but we will bring those from our house where it's warm. We'll bring those out once we notice that the foal's coming, and then that way we can help, good gracious, we can help dry the baby off and stimulate it, help it stand. So towels are also another important thing. Some people can go without towels and they'll just let their mare lick the baby off and things, but if it's cold, we want to get that foal dried off because obviously it's cold and wet. We don't want it to be cold and wet, so we'll try to dry it off. She could be tired and just not want to get up and lick off the foal and help stimulate it to get it up, so towels rubbing vigorously will help get the foal to stand up, acting as its mom licking it. So that's why towels are so important for me and why I'm going to use them. But everyone has their own foaling techniques and everything like that. But that's what I'm going to do. Now, if she seems uninterested in the baby and I've already rubbed it off with a towel and everything and she still doesn't care about it, we might try like putting some food like hay, grain, salt, treats, anything on it to get her licking it and just to be more motherly to it, which I hope she won't have a problem with, but she's being pretty vigorous and aggressive with that hay bag right now. But anyways, things like that can help get the mare to go over to their baby and seem a little bit interested in it. That way they don't reject it. So as we said, June is 315 days pregnant, so we are going to start doing daily updates on her at night and maybe in the morning because her udder changes a lot sometimes between the night and morning. When she stands in a stall, edema builds up, and then when she goes back outside, she moves around and the edema goes down. Okay, so let's see if I can get her to stand up on all 4 feet. Okay, so you can really see her belly is huge. As she gets closer, it will have a point and she will get low. Also, earlier in the video you saw her hip flattened out drastically. So as mares get closer to foaling, their hip back here gets loose and jiggly. She's really jiggly tonight. You can see it move out here. If you watch back other videos, we would do this and it would only really move around the area we were touching. But she's getting looser back here, so the muscles are relaxing, so that way the baby can come out and not hurt her, and the baby has more room to move around. Another thing that gets relaxed is her tail. So she's eating right now, so she's not really wanting me back here, but it was pretty relaxed. If you watch earlier videos, it only came out like this far. Oh, she let it relax. There we go. So it comes out about that far. And the thing that will really tell us, hey, she's about to foal, is her udder. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so here is her udder. she doesn't have a lot of edema buildup because it's nighttime. So it's smaller. In the morning, it's usually bigger. But we are gonna start doing a drop of milk on a pH test so we can get a baseline of what her milk is at right now. So let me get the pH strips and kind of explain how they work.
In the pH strips, I was gonna see if I could get her tail to go higher like it was earlier today. Yeah, so it's going up that high right now, but she's eating and pushing it down on us. But earlier, her tail was up over her back almost.
Okay, so these are the pH strips. People get them for pools. Horse people get them to see when their mare is going to have a baby. So here they have numbers on it, and when you get the strip, mares usually start out around this 8 when they are far out from foaling. But when they're in probably like a 3-week range, they get to the 7.5 area. And then when we are like, hey, this foal is probably coming in a week or 2, it'll hit 7, and then 6.75, and then 6.5. 6.5 is like, hey, you're having a foal within 24 hours. 6.25 is definitely that night. Usually the pH strips are correct. So checking the pH can help, but mare's milk, especially maidens, can change like super fast. So the pH really says nothing. If it's a 7, hours later it could be a 6.25 and she's like having a baby. So we're hoping she's a mare that will like drip white milk and we'll be like, hey, we're having a baby tonight. We're hoping she's not a mare that's like, she doesn't look like she's gonna have one. So that's why we're testing her pH. That will definitely help us. Also, the color of the milk will help. If it's a clear color, it's usually around the 8 to 7.5. Then it'll get kind of like a yellowish color, and then it'll get cloudy white, and then it'll get white, and you're like, baby's coming. So let's see what color her milk is, and we'll do a test today. We're gonna start testing it tonight, and then we won't test it again till 3:20. Yes, hello. Because 3:20 is her safe date. We'd love her to go full term to 3:40, but she will be okay to have it at 3:20. Okay, it's a little bit clearish yellow. So let me get the bottle. Here is the color of that pH strip. So again, her milk was like a clear yellowish tint. But I would say it's in between the 8 and 7.5. So again, the pH can change like that. The color of the milk can change. And she could be baby go time whenever she feels ready. But this tells us we have a little bit. So again, we're going to start checking her daily at 3:20. Today's 3:15. So we have 5 more days till then. Next, we are going to do a belly measurement. We haven't done one in about a month. I think last time she was 89 to 90.
Let me check.
Peyton's going to check real quick. But I'm pretty sure she was 89 to 91 inches maybe last time. I'm
91, 92.
91, 92, okay. I'm definitely saying she's probably grown a tad bit, as you saw the angle earlier. Fins doing zoomies on the other side of the stall. Anyway, she's definitely gotten a little bigger. So let's see here. Does this side go over?
Okay, so that was real tight on the 91 when she was breathing. So
that is where we were. I think I had it too far back. So she stayed the same, which is perfectly fine. She is definitely wide enough, and that baby's gonna come out pretty big. She herself is 14'3", 15 hands tall. And the sire, how tall is the sire?
15'1".
Sire is 15'1". So they're both on the smaller side.
But they're both very big bodied.
But they're both very big bodied, very muscular. So she's perfectly good size for a horse her size, and her baby is definitely gonna come out plenty big and have plenty of nutrients because she eats like it's her job. She loves food. Another thing I forgot to mention was wax. And wax is the coagulation in the colostrum leaking out of the mare's teat. So she doesn't have it, but what it will look like is like a yellow, dry, crusty. She had it one morning this week, a few days ago, but she hasn't had it since. It went away after she went out to the pasture. And usually when they have wax, you don't want to pick it off because you don't want that colostrum to keep leaking, because that is very important for the foal when it is born, that it gets the proper amount of colostrum. Some mares will wax for 3 or 4 weeks. Others will just start waxing 2 to 3 days before they give birth. But Miss June here waxed one day and then it went away. So she's really playing tricks on us here, as maidens will do. She shows signs that, hey, I'm close to foaling, and then they go away. So sometimes her udder will be big, but then she goes out to pasture, the edema goes away, and we bring her back in, and her udder is small again. But we figured that's her rhythm, so now we are a little bit better at what we're looking for when we are preparing for her foal. Thanks for watching June's 3:15 update and kind of our preparation for her to foal and give birth. Let us know in the comments if there's anything you would do different or any advice you have for us. We are first timers at this, and she's a maiden, but we have done lots of research and we have family members who have experience in this. But my sister and I are so excited to meet her baby. Again, her sire is Driftin' Hero, and she is June's best gamble. So we're super excited for this barrel racing bred baby to come out. Again, it has a huge chance at being a buckskin. So fingers crossed we just get a healthy, beautiful little baby. Peyton's hoping for a filly, but she'll be so happy with either.
The sire is known to throw fillies, so that's what I'm hoping for.
Yes. I want a colt. I'm a gelding person, but we are super excited. Subscribe to the channel to see more, see when she gives birth. We have her whole pregnancy on there, and you can hit the notification bell to get notified when we post new videos and updates on her. And we also post the other horses and goats, and there's lots of fun stuff, so go check it out.